To begin our Christmas cauliflower casserole, we need to do two things. Preheat our oven to 375 degrees. And we also need a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish, and I have greased mine with avocado oil spray. So anything this size, 9 by 13, will be perfect for this casserole. I've also warmed 8 slices of bacon in a little bit of rendered bacon grease just to rewarm them. That's a half a cup if you're using crumbles. So you are going to need 3 pounds of cauliflower. You can use fresh or frozen, but it needs to be cooked. So I have 3 pounds of cauliflower here. In a separate small bowl, we're going to need 2 cups of sour cream. The first thing that I'm going to season that with is 3 cubes of chicken bouillon. And I'm just going to work that into the sour cream. I'm also going to add some seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of sage. I'm going to add a little bit of salt-free seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and some black pepper. And then I'm also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of ground mustard. And you just find this on the shelf with the rest of your seasoning. And it's a little bit stronger than mustard in a container. But it's going to give us a nice mustard taste to our sauce. And I'm going to incorporate all of those into our sour cream. Okay, so that is going to form the base of our sauce. We are also going to need 2 cups of shredded cheese, and you can use any kind of cheese that you would like in this dish. I am using cheddar, and that's 2 cups. I'm going to take our sour cream sauce and put it in, because we're going to stir everything together. Everything I can out of the bowl. And I'm just going to work everything together, getting the sauce incorporated into our cauliflower. Just have a big spoon here. Okay. So the next step is I'm going to take the bacon that we warmed up and rendered in its own fat into our cauliflower. And I'm also going to incorporate that into our dish. Okay, so there it is, all combined, and I am now going to take this and empty it into our casserole dish. Everything is into our dish now. Now, in the original Taste of Home recipe that I referred to in the introduction, the original recipe had ground up stuffing mix used as the breadcrumbs on the top of the dish. And of course, that is not keto, so I have made some keto breadcrumbs, and we're going to use those. Okay, so for our keto breadcrumbs, I have a 1/2 cup of ground pork rinds, and that is just pork rinds put in my mini food processor and pulverized. Then I have 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and 1/4 cup of almond flour. Now often when I make this recipe, I'm asked, can I use something besides almond flour? And yes, you can. You can use all pork rinds. I'm often asked, can I use something besides pork rinds? And yes, you can. You can substitute the pork rinds I have in here with additional almond flour and Parmesan cheese. So whatever you like or dislike, you can change this in equal ratios to the product that you do prefer, but I'm using a little bit of both for our family. So you have 2 cups of crumbs total, in between the almond flour, the Parmesan cheese, and the pork rinds. Now in order to make this into a breadcrumb mixture, you need to add some butter. So I have 1/4 cup of melted butter. That is a 1/2 stick of butter, and I have melted it. So I'm just going to stir this together, and that's going to give us a breadcrumb and butter mixture. I have also seasoned this with just a little bit of the salt-free seasoning. You could season it however you wish. It already has salt in it from the Parmesan cheese and the pork rinds, so you really don't need to salt it. So I'm just going to take this with my hands and start sprinkling it over our casserole. Just trying to be as even as we can. And these are going to get nice and toasty. And if you want some additional brownness at the end of our cooking process, you can always broil the top a little bit. So I'm just evenly putting these over the top of the casserole, trying to get a little bit of breadcrumb mixture over all of our casserole. Now this is going to go into the oven, and you're going to bake it for about 30 minutes, keeping an eye on it. Since our ingredients are already cooked with the cauliflower, this is basically just a warming through and melding of our casserole together. Into the oven, 375, and we are going to start at 1/2 hour, so that's 30 minutes. Okay, our casserole is ready to be taken out of the oven. I let it go for about 23 minutes, and then I broiled it for about 2 to 3 minutes. So mine ended up taking 25 minutes. So it's 25 to 30 minutes depending on your oven and if you decide to broil the top. I'm going to let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then we will serve, and CJ will give his opinion.